Please, Luke. Please, please, please.
How many cups have you had this morning?
None.
Plus?
5, but yours is better.
I got a kiss, and I shoplifted.
Honestly, Lorelai, it's not your looks that keep them away. Think about that.
People die, we pay. People crash cars, we pay. People lose a foot, we pay.
At least you have your new slogan.
Did you do something slutty?
I'm not that happy.
People are particularly stupid.
Luke can waltz. It'd be like the first 15 minutes of Saving Private Ryan, but at least those guys got to be on fire.
I'm not going to harm you. I had sex, but I'm not going to harm you.
I stopped being a child the minute the strip turned.
Boy, with the poodles in it.
I smell snow.
The show Gilmore Girls premiered in the fall of 2000, known for its fast-paced dialogue, witty banter, and endless pop culture references. This mother-daughter show had an amazing cast. It was filled with laughs, love, and lots of drama. I'm James Hansen, and welcome to the CJ Unedited Gilmore Girls Roundtable Special. Tonight, I sit down with Andrea and Megan Baker to discuss this beloved television classic. Ladies, welcome. How are you guys tonight?
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you both for agreeing to take time out of your day to come and be on this show, be a part of history for us, because we've never done an in-person show. But before we dive into Gilmore Girls, which is why everyone is watching tonight, tell everybody at home, and you guys have never met, so tell everybody at home and each other a little bit about yourself. I don't care who goes first.
All right. Well, I'm Andrea, and I live here in Warrensburg. I'm a real estate agent. I have a 3-year-old daughter. Hi, Harlow.
Oh, hi.
And yeah, just living the dream.
Living the dream.
I guess I'll follow. So I'm Megan. Live here in Warrensburg also. I also work in the housing field. I'm an assistant property manager, just right down the road, so not too far. I have no kids, but I do welcome others. I like the kids. I do have lots of siblings. I just have to say I'm really excited to be here with you guys. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. And thank you guys for being on. Chrissy, who is normally on, that was with me as my co-host, is actually in the audience today. And so she just said she's in the audience. So welcome, everyone. But I guess we'll just get started and dive into it. We have a lot to discuss, a lot to talk about. But first and foremost, we got to talk about the intro to Gilmore Girls. Absolutely. You can't talk about Gilmore Girls without the intro.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and I don't know about you guys, but it is one of the most classic intros. And I sing along to it every single time. What about you guys?
Even my 3-year-old, that's like one of the first songs she learned was this song, and she just like mumbles her way through it, and I'm like, yes, babe. You're like, Mama talks. Yeah, right. And my husband even goes, he's like, this is the proudest moment of your life with them. If I'm alone and get to watch it by myself, then I get to sing. But my bestie who watches with me skips the intro. Aww. Sydney.
Ooh, the shade. Well, we're gonna prove this theory right now. By That was good. That was really good.
I want our viewers My
Well,
lord.
let us know in the audience how you thought on a scale of 1 to 10. No. Something that I've noticed in the entire run of the show was that Edward Herman was always a special appearance by and never just in the main credits. Like, why do you guys think that was?
I think it was a respectful thing. Like, thank you, Edward Herman, for being here with us today. Like, what a great man, on screen and off screen. They always raved about him on both. So, yeah.
I would have to agree. Obviously Rory and Lorelai and Emily, all super, super great gals, but without him, the patriarch of the family, we wouldn't even have the girls. So
Exactly.
Where the namesake came from.
exactly.
Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore.
Yeah.
So, as you guys know, Gilmore Girls premiered in 2000, and it ran for 7 seasons, 153 episodes, and then 9 years later, it was rebooted for 4 short films in a year in the life. Andrea, this question is actually for you. You watched it growing up as a teenager. What is it like now watching it back on Netflix, not only an adult, but as a mother as well?
Yeah, I watched it. I think I first picked it up when I was like 14, and I was very Rory. You know what I mean? Like, I felt all of her feelings. I felt all of her boys. And it's not like I just picked it back up. I mean, I watch it at least once a year. You know what I mean? All the way through. But now as a mom, I can see more of where Lorelai is coming from and her disciplines and her worries for her kid and even kind of Emily. You know, the expectations you set on your kid, and when they don't fulfill them, the pain it brings to you. So, it's definitely been a journey being able to watch it. I'm excited to get older to watch it strictly through Emily's point of view. You know what I mean? Like, when you really don't give it, So yeah, it's definitely one that lasts and continues to be relatable.
When did you start watching it?
I started watching my best friend, actually, Sydney. She
Speaking of Sydney, she did say, "I do not always skip the intro, Megan."
She does. She
So,
always skips.
But go ahead, continue.
So she introduced it to me. I want to say it was my sophomore year of college, maybe my junior year. Can't quite remember. But she introduced it to me that fall, and I remember I would sit on the end of my bed and just watch in awe. Like, you just stare at the screen and you're like, wow. And, like, the bond that I really felt, I don't want to have kids of my own, but so I would never understand, like, the mother role, but kind of the daughter role in each sense, at each step is kind of interesting. So I definitely say, in college I felt more Rory, but now more so understanding the bond of an adult daughter with her mom, between, Emily and Lorelai. So that's pretty cool too.
Y'all have been watching it longer than me. I started and ended watching it for the very first time, and it started in February of this year. I watched it from the very beginning to the very end. I've watched the first episodes, and I've watched episodes here and there. But then just watching it from the very beginning and watching it all the way through into a year in the life, it was a little difficult. So
Why?
I mean, it wasn't difficult to watch. It's just also I'm very busy, so I really can't watch it. And then I'm also a person that doesn't just sit down and watch a television show. So I have to watch it throughout, which is why it took me so long.
Yeah.
So I finished it in spring break.
It's just one of those easy things you put on in the background for me. Like, yeah. All right.
Sydney says, "What are we drinking?" And I have to say, "Coffee."
There you go.
Coffee. So I just want to put this out there and talk about it. And there are 14 main cast members throughout the show, and 3 major minor characters. And I just want to go ahead and break them down a little bit for those who have never seen Gilmore Girls. If you've never seen Gilmore Girls, this is the entire episode is a spoiler. So, spoiler alert. And if you guys have questions, please write them in the chat. We'll get to answer them. But let's talk about the Gilmore Girls. Obviously, there's 3 of them. There's Lorelai, Rory, and Emily. What are you guys' views on them?
I would say I have to love Lorelai the most. And I know that this is very controversial because Lorelai and Rory's relationship and Lorelai and Emily's relationship, but I really think, obviously you need all 3 of the ladies to complete the show, but
Really finding your way after you think you found your way, and what that's like.
It's I honestly don't think I could pick one, but there is a 4th one. It's
Lorelai the Great.
yeah.
So it's really sad as I accidentally closed you guys. So every single thing you guys just talked about, they didn't hear on the
That's okay.
Because literally they're all like, there's no sound. No sound. No sound. I was like, I see what I did wrong. Is there also, I want to know, is there feedback? Can you guys hear there? Is there feedback? Because I have all 3 microphones on. Someone said that there was no one could hear these 2, so I turned on all their microphones. So just let me know if that is something you guys can hear. Yeah, I personally, growing up, I kind of see myself in Rory. Like, Rory is just, she's trying to go through life. She has all these relationship issues, and yeah. That's all I have to say about that.
What's a relationship? I'm Lorelai the Great.
Yes.
So
She only needs the driver.
Right, that's all I need.
exactly.
His tracksuit.
Okay, so let's keep going here. The Gilmore guys. We have Luke, we have Richard, we have Christopher, and we have Jason. Because technically Jason was a romantic interest for her, so for the entire run. So what are your guys' views on them?
So I would have to say, if we pull in Jason, we have to pull in Max.
Yeah, we definitely
Like,
Okay.
you can't have Jason without Max.
because
Okay.
it's such a
Um,
small
Right. Like,
Oh, I forgot about Max. Yeah,
right.
totally forgot about him.
Absolutely. But I would definitely say, of all of the Gilmore guys, we obviously have put Richard on a pedestal, so
Yes.
we can't ever, back down from that.
all men are
But
Richard.
Luke,
Hmm.
he held out
Let's go
for
here.
so long, waiting
Yeah.
for the perfect woman. He knew, he said, that's my prize, and I will win her no matter what it takes. And boy, did he.
Well, even Matt, your husband, even said, "Don't forget Max."
Yeah.
It just goes to show that he
Yeah.
watches the show. I mean, with me, I just watching I have because I've seen episodes where Lorelai and Luke are together, so the entire run. I'm just wanting them to get together. But then you see Christopher come back into their lives, and you see Rory finally happy to have her dad back there, and so you see all these different people. But and if you're watching it and you know the ending, you're just like, okay, get out of the way. Like you're ruining the romance I want to have happen. So, I mean, it's a little different. But
Did you ever have a feeling where you were like, Christopher, I know that you're supposed to make the whole family come together, but also no, like I need you to not because you're ruining everything. Like,
Oh yeah.
Lorelai finally has her life together and you're back again.
I remember the first time watching it when he comes to the wedding and
Yes.
it like says, hey, she's pregnant. And I was like heartbroken. But now having watched it through multiple times, that is a weak ass man. Like I am not impressed. Like
It's
You
like,
just-
honey, bye.
yeah, exactly. Like, and unfortunately I see similarities between him and Logan. Still
Mhm.
love Logan. Logan's. But yeah, I definitely see similarities.
So let's move into the Dragonfly Inn. Dragonfly Inn, everybody. Suki, Jackson, and Michelle. You can't have Jackson without Suki. You can't have the Dragonfly without Michelle. So, and you can't have Lorelai without Suki. So, what's your guys' views on that? Is it
All
a question?
necessity.
Yeah.
I don't. What are we questioning here?
I
Are we
don't know.
questioning like, should we rename the Dragonfly? Or like,
Right.
what are we
Yes.
questioning here? Because it should have been called the Gilmores, like the Gilmore House, the House de la something. You know?
Okay,
The
so
coffee
since
shop.
I got shamed on that question, let's move into Rory's boys.
Okay.
Jess, Logan. I put Luke in here. I don't know why I put Luke in here. Jess, Logan, and Dean. I think they all played a pivotal role in her
Oh, yeah.
growing up. But we all have our opinion, who we think is the best one. We'll wait to get to that till the end, because that's its own separate topic. So,
Dang.
what are your guys' views on each of them? But not in the way of who Rory should end up with. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you take this.
Okay. Yeah. Again, watching it the first time, Dean, am I right? But watching it as an adult, I'm like, no, she ain't letting a man talk to her all crazy in front of people like that. This man is
Right.
always throwing fits and stomping his feet. And I'm just like, boy, please. Jess, I'm going to call that trauma. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he has a lot of emotional baggage.
Mhm.
And he's a teenager. Parents don't want him. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you grace. Logan, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But yeah, and I won't answer your question, but I think we all know where this is headed for me.
Yes.
On who she should not go.
Yes.
I can definitely say Dean was the perfect first love. And like, hear me out. He did everything for her, like treated her like a queen, and then kind of got a little hairy to kind of teach her like, don't trust every man, you know?
Yeah.
And so then she really got Jess, which like you said, girl, like you said, okay? And then we really rounded it out. And you know, I would have to say, you know, Logan is an interesting love.
Mm-hmm.
And as they say, you have your big three.
Mm-hmm.
And she really did have her big three. And I'm just praying for her still. Just say that.
I mean, my opinion is kind of go like that. I saw Dean as like the first love of her life.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, he did everything. He got her a car.
He built
He built her that car. And then obviously that one didn't work out so well. Then she got Jess. And then Jess ruined said car. So, but no, I think when Logan showed up into the picture for her, it just kind of like her entire world just kind of changed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what I liked about that. So,
Yeah.
but then we also move into three other ones that are central characters. And I know, guys, there's a lot of characters in the show, but Lane, Babette, and Miss Patty, they all three played a role in all of the Gilmore Girls' lives. So,
I thought you were going to go with Paris.
and Paris.
I
Oh
was
my
like,
goodness.
yeah,
Paris.
we're got the best
it's
friend.
funny up here in the script. It says Rory. Paris Giller was written specifically for Lisa Whale when she didn't get the role of Rory. So Paris Geller as well is on there as well. I kind of kept her under the Rory part because she was also supposed to be Rory at one point. But yeah, those four: Paris, Lane, Babette, and Miss Patty. Like,
No, I feel like they did Lane dirty.
They did.
Like, she did not have you wanted so much more for her storyline, but it's all kind of just sad.
But if you think about it, okay, so I don't know about you guys. Do you guys still have like your high school friends or not so much?
yeah,
Because I'm like,
yeah.
give or take.
like I don't talk to anyone from high school. So for me, it was a very natural, like not like a full phase out because, you know, Lane is still there, but like the natural progression of life, you know, she moved on to college. She, you know, kind of moved forward and kind of grew, and Lane kind of stayed at home and, you know, made the family, you know, the things that happen. But like, I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, like natural. Because that was kind of what happened with most of my high school friends. Like they just still back at home.
Yeah.
I really don't have that many high school friends.
Same.
So, I mean, when I saw Lane kind of just like fade off, I was like, it feels like high school. Like,
Yeah.
you moved to college, you still keep in touch with them, but
Yeah.
Right.
no.
I thought it was really weird how they brought the dad back in for the revival.
Exactly.
Like they mentioned him like once or twice in the first season,
Mhm.
and then never again.
But it was kind of cool though to see like the character that was never there, and then all of a sudden, boom!
I don't know.
That's Mr. Kim. Bye bye. Like,
I didn't really like
Okay.
it. Yeah. It's like one of those things. Once you put a face to it, it changes it.
so what about Paris? Paris became the new Lane.
Ooh, Paris.
Mm.
Paris took a minute.
Yeah.
That's like eating what are those things called? A warhead?
Yeah.
you gotta really hold out.
Yeah. Right.
Really hold on tight to that one.
Exactly. Yeah.
But honestly, I'm glad like that their friendship turned into what it is. And then, I mean, spoiler alert again, but she ended up actually, helping Lorelai and Luke way in the later years. So
Oh yeah.
I think that that's pretty beautiful for full circle. So
I loved the bathroom scene in the revival where they go off on the redheaded girl.
Oh yes.
She's like,
Yes.
did I take a trip back to 19 whatever? And I'm like, that's
You're like,
funny.
yes, you
yeah,
did.
right.
The other two are Babette and Miss Patty. They're major characters because they're the ones that are always there with that one little quick piece of advice. So we're not going to focus much on them, but like, what are your thoughts on them? Because the actresses who played Babette and Miss Patty were actually best friends in real life. So like, what are you guys' views on Babette and Miss Patty?
I've always thought that that's kind of how the storyline progressed because, I think it was Lorelai who said the line. She was like, just tell Miss Patty and the whole town will know. And so, so, I mean, it's so true. It's like, hey, just so you know, like this is going on. And then, next, it's the next storyline because you're moving on because everybody now knows that situation. You don't have to focus.
Yeah, it was almost like their lives town elders,
Mhm.
If they got approval from Taylor and, Babette and then, okay, we're good. Everything's okay.
So Gilmore Girls introduced us to so many unforgettable characters. My personal favorite being Babette, because Babette eats oatmeal. She has her crazy gnome craze. Out of all of the characters, who's your favorite?
Of side characters?
Of anyone. Who's your favorite?
Oh.
Emily.
Okay. Why?
She just has range, man.
Okay.
Like, yeah. She's got range.
Out of everybody? Okay, this is going to be wild, but Lorelai the Great. And here's why. She is the most respected person, like from the characters that you only see for like 2 episodes. Lorelai loves her. Emily loves her. Richard loves her. Like, and she's talked about all the time. But I'm just like, yes, ma'am. Me too. I love you too. And like, without her, none of this would have been possible. I mean, she was fantastic. She, for me, she really showed me, like, if I'm old and gray and by myself, I'll be fine. So,
with enough money.
With enough
money.
You gotta have the money.
I'll figure that out once at a time.
And I love that she was the only one that could put Emily
in her place.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
she scared Emily. Emily would because when she found out that she was coming, the very first time they ever mentioned or introduced Lorelai the Great, it was Emily running around the house going, I gotta get this, I gotta get this, I gotta get this. And then that one episode where she showed up and caught Emily off guard and she had nothing prepared. And Lorelai the Great was like, I know you only put that out when I come. Like, she knew. So,
she was like, yeah, girl, I know.
Yeah.
Was there a recurring character that made you guys cringe? Oh, we lost a feed. Oh, we lost a camera.
Oh, no.
We're going to go to individual cameras as we do this. I don't know why we lost the camera, everybody. I am so sorry. So we're going to go to this kind of setup.
Oh, hello, girl.
Yeah, great. My best angle.
It's okay. We can just lift.
We lost everything.
Lift.
There it is.
Good angles.
Yeah.
Guys, this is a 100% live episode. As you guys can see, we lost everything.
Okay, so I'm going to look at some of these questions that people have asked in here just to see if we can get anything.
You are the queen.
Who was Rory's best boyfriend and why was it Jess? Ask Chrissy.
Honestly, I think Jess did like progress her the most in what she truly wanted in life. Like,
Oh, for sure.
I mean, down to the new stuff they released, but even back, like he was the one to go, "What are you doing?" And she was the only one she listened to. Like she's like, "You're right. I don't know what I'm doing."
I like that he also, no matter what, stuck by her, even if he was angry with her or she was angry with him. He was
Yeah.
like, "Don't worry, girl, I still got you."
Yeah,
And I'm like, okay,
somewhere,
okay.
yeah, somewhere in him, he knew he was, you know, messed up,
Right.
but still like knew he loved her and would love her to the end. Like, yeah, even his longing looks in the new seasons. I'm like,
right, like
"Aw."
he's like, hey.
But I like the comfortability of them, like, you know, when Jess is there for Luke, and it
right.
didn't seem like it was a one-off. Like they see each other occasionally, and maybe she keeps it down.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I didn't even think.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe.
We can only hope.
We'll get to that later.
But he seems fixed now.
Chrissy also agrees with you that Lane was done dirty.
Okay, I think we're back. I gotta get out of this.
Oh,
He might be stuck.
Oh.
So it might just be us now. We've taken over. This was our
Yeah.
plan all along. Surprise!
Woo! Sorry about that, guys. That's what we get.
There we are. There we go.
yeah.
Woo! Okay. Oh, the camera's not in focus. This is what happens when you do a live show. You gotta roll with the punches, ladies and gentlemen.
You're right.
You gotta roll with them. Sarah laughed at that. She was like, "Ha ha." Okay. So where were we? Okay. Recurring character that makes you cringe.
I even thought about this beforehand. Character that makes you cringe. Who's yours?
Yours.
Yeah, you couldn't think of it either. That's why you let it sit in dead air.
Dead air.
Penelon
Watt.
She
almost ruined
Oh.
She Richard's ass almost ruined everything. Oh, she's just living. You know what I mean?
But she didn't have to come back.
She didn't
have to ask him to go to lunch.
No, and he did not have to say yes.
That's okay, fair. You're right.
So
You're right.
You know, that's a good answer. Let's start with the special guest stars.
okay.
We had Victoria Justice, Paul Anka, Seth MacFarlane. We had all these, just to name a few, because there's a whole lot more than that. I think they did really good bringing in these. The computer also is doing an update. So it's all across the board. We're having technical issues. All across the, we have just special guest stars spewed in, like Christina Amanpour. I don't know how to say her name. What was it like seeing, you grew up on some of these guest stars. What was it like seeing them?
I had zero idea who any of them were.
Oh.
When I first bought them, I bought them at Hastings. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember Hastings.
But I bought the DVDs, so that was a hot weekend for me. But it came with this little pamphlet in them that explained all of the pop culture references and everything.
Oh.
This was before you could, I think I had Nokia. You know what I mean? So it's like you could just Google it really quick. But it like talking about Paul Anka, I'm like, I don't have any idea who that is.
Yeah.
But so I've been watching it back again, and the first time I watched it, I had no idea who Seth MacFarlane was. But now seeing there, I'm like, what an odd placement.
What did you do that for?
Yeah, right. Who did you know? Yeah, I would go like, who did you know? Like,
Yeah, it took me a long time to understand that Paul Anka was a real person.
It's a little Paul Anka, and it kept going back and forth.
I thought that Paul Anka, the dog, was Paulinka, and I was like, I wonder what that means.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Paul space Anka. Okay.
Took me a while. Yeah, I still couldn't even tell you one of his products.
What did you do?
Yeah.
So this we're gonna move off of the characters, and we're gonna start going into some of the major topics that I had picked out for these. Megan, you wanted to talk about the ongoing feud and relationship between Emily and Lorelai. What about it?
Okay. So, as an adopted child, maybe I just don't understand. But is this like a thing with moms and daughters, like that they just feud their whole life? Because like, I mean, I had like the I'm a teenage girl and I know everything, situation with my mom. But like now I'm like, I need my mom. I call her every 5 seconds. Mom, where are you at? Mom, what's for dinner? Mom, where are you? Like these are necessities. Like am I weird?
No, I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
I think a lot of it is the class difference.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like they are probably the 1%. You know what I mean?
Right.
So especially in the time that she did it, getting pregnant, that was damn near send you to somewhere to have it and come back. You know what I mean? So getting let down that early and her not living up to any of the expectations they set for her, that's what kids did. You know what I mean? And then they had this money to hold on them, but she's like, but I don't want it. And they're like, well, damn, that's all we have. Like,
okay.
So, I mean, that's just.
And I think the thing is, and going along with that is why they started the Friday night dinners. It was kind of like here, Rory, take our money, but also come back into our lives. Like you're not out of our family, you are our family. So they did the Friday night dinners every night.
I think that class, that's the only way they can really translate. Like,
I love you.
I'll give you this for this. Like, it's not just come here, I love you, because I'm also going to tell you how to live your life and irritate you and be critical. And so here, take this money. Now you can't say anything. And I love the episodes where Rory's mad and she's like, no, the agreement was for me to come to dinner, not for me to act a certain way. So I think that she handles it like Lorelai should have handled it to maintain the relationship long term. But yeah.
Someone says money equals love for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
That makes sense.
So there's something that speaking of money, I'm glad we were talking about money. I'm glad this got brought up because in my eyes, I believe, and this is my opinion, Rory to me is kind of like a hypocrite. She kind of always talks smack about those who are trust fund kids, but she technically becomes one and she dates one. So in my eyes, she's a hypocrite sometimes throughout the series because you can't be like, oh, I don't like people who are trust fund kids, but you technically are one. Like this is my opinion.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird, like, kind of like Andrea just mentioned, like she only becomes one because it's their way to love her. So it's like, yes, she is one, but she also completely, for, 14 years of her life, grew up poor. Like, I mean, like, girl, here's your Chinese box.
Yeah.
Poor, like nothing, So, I mean, yes, she did become more affluent, but it's still not her money. Like at any point in time,
no,
it could have been ripped from her. Like not, and if Richard and Emily died, that would have been Lorelai's money, not Rory's.
That is true.
So, I mean, did she become a trust fund kid? I know. Eye opening.
We can go on about this forever because I think she said no at first and then she took it. But I don't know if she took it because it's what she needed to do to get through.
She also grew up with a mom telling her, don't take it, don't take it, don't take it, don't take it. So that's her first impulse is to say that. And then, oh, wait.
I can have this.
Yes, I think I shall.
Well,
I would eventually take that. Not eventually. I would have been like, yes.
Give that to her now.
Yes. So, and I think she did like that life to some degree. I think she liked the fancy parties. I think she liked the fancy things. Not when someone made her do it, but she liked doing it on her own terms. And I think that is the perfect balance of Emily and Lorelai.
I think where you're saying this, and I think what kind of, then we can branch off of this into this next topic is, you always saw Rory getting the money. Lorelai never went and had anything to do with it, except for at one point when she got the $750,000 or $7,500 or whatever it was. But I think that also just shows like Luke and Lorelai, when Luke didn't care if she didn't have the money that her parents wanted to give her. he liked her for her. Well, at first it was she liked him, he didn't like her. But like with Luke and Lorelai, like I want to talk a little bit about that because she started her own business. He started his own business. Like they kind of are meant for each other, but it took forever for us to finally get them. So what are you guys' the whole views in the Luke and Lorelai situation?
Meant to be from the moment she said, "Can I have some coffee?"
Yeah, I totally agree.
She literally, coffee. How many cups have you had today? None.
It was almost, it was hard for me to get on board because I even read that, like, you know, the daughter was introduced to slow it down and to give it some friction and to like continue the storyline. But it was like, I feel like you guys could have come up with plenty and it still have been a happy story.
Right.
The whole April thing, like, drove me nuts. That I just felt like that was completely unnecessary for him to act that way. And like that's probably one of the cringiest timelines for me is like the period where she comes in and then to the breakup. Like, just crazy to me.
I also don't think that was in character for Luke
I
at all.
agree.
I think the moment that he found out, he would have been like, Lorelai, we need to talk.
Yeah.
Like, I've watched enough Luke Danes to know that Luke Danes would not have acted like that.
And definitely wouldn't have wanted to keep them together, like apart.
Right.
And I also see the part. I also see that like it caught him off guard.
Yeah.
It caught him way off guard, and so you also got to look at it like, oh no, I have a daughter.
Yeah, but going to New York catches him off guard.
That is true.
Right.
That is true.
So he's an off guard kind of gal.
That is true. Would you say he had his fair share? They had their fair share of meltdowns
Oh, yes.
between Luke and Lorelai.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Some of my favorite scenes though is them just going off on each other.
I think one of my favorite ones, and we'll show it later, is one of my favorite ones is when they're taking Rory to, is it Yale? And they have to keep the mattress and they're like yelling about whose turn it is at the mattress and like, oh, I carried the mattress last time, it's your turn to carry the mattress. And they like literally were arguing about a mattress.
Yeah.
Like,
Mine,
it's not a big meltdown. It's not like a sad meltdown.
No.
It's like, what kind of meltdown is this? I'll do this. I would have this.
I will go get the mattress.
my two favorite ones are when he does all of this work around to get a new motor put in her Jeep because she just wanted the same car. He's like, you're going to pay more for this, but okay. And they were both like, oh, it's normal again. And the other one is when the clock or the bell tower keeps ringing and they're fighting and they meet back up there to break the bell tower. And like, that's hilarious. The preacher walks in and he's like, what are you doing? They're like, it's like, oh, thank God. Continue.
Keep doing that.
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
There's
May
a
the
lot.
Lord bless you.
There's a lot of those like, what are you doing moments, and it's what I like to title the section is Gilmore Girls meltdowns.
Oh.
We have a lot of what is going on, and I just have a couple here. Just name a few, like when Logan and Colin create their fake little love meltdown for Rory when she was in Yale during class, which that was kind of like, oh, that's a little cringy. At the same exact time, it's like, why is this happening? Taylor versus Luke, all of their meltdowns when he built the giant soda shop next to it and put the glass mirror there, which I thought somewhere along the line a curtain was going to go up.
Yeah.
But then there was never a
never
curtain, and
did.
they just ignored the fact that there was. But it was prominent in there was a scene with Lorelai. She was sitting there looking through the window toward Luke's diner with the entire town was like surrounded by it. I can't remember what it was for.
It was April was in there.
That's what it was. And they're like, what are you doing? Like, how do you feel about this? So, and then who can forget Paris's speech on C-SPAN?
Yeah.
I had sex, but I'm
not going to college.
I was like, okay, Paris.
Which meltdown from Gilmore Girls has stuck with you the most?
Rory's meltdown after she has sex with Dean.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
I know that you're mad that your mom just called you out, but honey, that is your mom's job to call you out.
Yeah.
Please don't go cry in the grass.
Right.
Like, get inside.
Right.
Girl.
Right. I think mine is when Emily is buying the plane.
Oh
true.
my goodness, the plane.
Yeah. And later on, which led to the Friday night
dinner.
Right.
She throws it out, and then like later on, they're sleeping, and Richard and Emily are in the other room, and he goes, "You tried to buy a plane?"
I didn't buy a plane. I was looking at it. So don't fret. I did research on the top meltdown of Gilmore Girls, and this is the top meltdown. And we're gonna play it in its entirety. We're gonna get our reactions to it. This is the top meltdown.
No,
This is not going to happen. You're not going back out to your moonscape. You're not going back to work, and you're not
Why
going
is it no
home.
sound?
Now
Can
we
anyone
all
hear it?
agreed to have Friday night dinner, and we're here, and I spent dinner. And yes, apparently there are some issues to be worked out, but no one is leaving here until we do.
Things were out of control.
Not the point, simply. Not that
It is completely.
Rory, do not cut your grandmother off.
Well, I'm just saying.
you come running to us, begging us to take you in because you can't possibly deal with your mother.
That's not what happened.
We take you in, we pay to redecorate a pool house so you can have a place all your own.
I did not ask you to do that.
You accepted it. You did not turn it down. I didn't hear you saying, Grandma, stop. I didn't see you throw yourself at the decorators while they were putting up your very expensive wallpaper. And then when you decide you don't like how things are going, you leave.
With no notice, by the way. And you leave 2 strange boys in our house unsupervised.
We're missing 2 picture frames, by the way.
Colin and Finn did not steal your picture.
Do not raise your voice to your grandmother.
I never realized how spoiled you were, Rory, but I guess it's to be expected. Only children are always spoiled.
I'm sorry I didn't leave a note.
My, that sounds heartfelt. Doesn't that sound heartfelt, Richard?
Well, I've never been more touched in all my life.
I apologize you don't believe it. I try to defend myself and you don't want to hear it. So apparently, there's nothing I can do here.
Oh, there's plenty you can do.
What can I do?
Well, first of all, you can admit what you've done. You can apologize.
I was just trying to apologize.
Cut her some slack, Mom. Rory was going through something terrible.
Life is full of terrible things, Lorelai.
She was emotional. When you're emotional, you don't think clearly. I remember a woman who tried to buy a plane when her granddaughter moved out.
I tried to timeshare a plane. It is in no way even close to the same thing.
I've never been so happy to see a salad in my entire life.
I thought that was the
I
end.
can't believe what I'm hearing.
If we'd known the extent of the issue, we might not have taken Rory in.
I tried to tell you.
You did not.
I came here and I told you exactly what happened with Mitchum, and you didn't want to hear it.
I don't remember that.
I don't either.
The Huntsbergers told her she wasn't good enough, and Mitchum told her she didn't have it. He what? Yes, and now she's dropped out of Yale, but between the 3 of us, we can knock some sense into her. Of course we'll help you. This is not happening. I'll call Charlie Davenport tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. Just thank you. And scene. This is a really good sorbet.
I know, isn't it? Teresa made it herself.
My favorite part.
Mango?
Passion fruit.
Delicious.
It certainly is. What do you think? It's buying an airplane.
I didn't buy it. I looked at it.
Well, what were you doing looking at a plane?
I can look at a plane if I want to look at a plane. So I lead her over to the red table, smiling like we were
Thinking it's over, it's not.
And I tell her, Shira, you don't think Rory is good enough to be in your family. She is. We are just as good as you are. After all, you are nothing but a 2-bit gold digger. And how you managed to bag Mitchum, I will never know.
You did not?
Oh, yes, she did.
I told her Mitchum still plays around.
Oh, no. Tell her exactly what you said.
What did I say?
About her weight going...
Oh, yes, I got it. I told her, Mitchum still plays around, you know. Well, of course, you know. That's why your weight goes up and down 30 pounds every 3 months.
Ruthless woman.
I bows at the foot of the master.
I only wished I'd remembered to call her a cocktail waitress.
Ooh, that's my mother's version of the C word.
I don't want to quit the DAR.
Well,
It just
too late.
keeps
I was
going.
accepted and certified, Grandma. You
Oh,
can't
like-
just kick me out.
I can too.
I know the rules backwards and forward, and I have done nothing to lose my status except argue with you. Plus, I'm in contact with more members than you are.
That is not true.
And I like more of the members than you do.
That is not true.
I talk to Tweenie Halpern all the time.
What are you doing talking to Tweenie Halpern?
I'm friends with Tweenie Halpern. I'm helping her daughter look at colleges. I'm going to give her a tour of Yale.
You have no right to talk to Tweenie Halpern or anyone else in the DAR. That is my organization.
I'm not quitting.
Oh, yes, you are.
So,
So, how's Luke?
He is a kid. We were 16. We didn't want to get married.
When you get pregnant, you get married. A child needs a mother and a father.
Oh, my God. Well, I think we've officially reinstated Friday night dinner.
Good night.
Like, to me, that is just, it's so well directed.
Yeah.
The cameras were just
I love
all
the turn,
over
like,
the place.
yeah.
And then you think the fight is over, but it
But it's
continues. And I think my favorite scene from that is this is some good sorbet. Oh, passion fruit? Mango? Passion fruit. Oh, delicious. Like, it just kept going and it wouldn't end. And I think that's why the poll, like you said, that was the top number one fight, because they finally got all of their grievances out in the air. And I think from then on, like, the Friday night dinners were more calm and relaxed.
Yeah.
Oh,
because they all got into it. Every single one got into a fight. But I think the most iconic scene in there was so how's Luke? He has a kid. Like, he doesn't even say anything. He just like, his face just gets brightened up. But I thought that was a fight that you have to watch in like its entirety, because it's too much. It's too much. It's so crazy. But what do you guys think? I don't care. We can move on.
I'm like, I just want to argue now.
Yeah, right?
Anybody else ready? Come on.
Yeah.
So they mention Colin and Finn. So, which brings us to the Life and Death Brigade, because that's how we get introduced to Colin and Finn. What are your guys' thoughts on the Life and Death Brigade?
Well, it's tattooed on my body.
Yes.
So kind of important. By that, everyone, I mean, there's a quote, not like the whole Life and Death Brigade tattooed on my body. That'd be weird. But I think it's really cool because it shows, like, it is the elitist of the elitist, to join a secret society and do stupid things that, everyone knows is going on, but it's secret, so it's fine. And I mean, Logan almost loses his life from it, but they always say, nobody's died yet, but almost.
Right.
So speaking of, jumping and, losing lives, the you jump, I jump Jack scene, that has become very well known and prominent. It's kind of like, I didn't know where, I've always heard that saying, you jump, I jump, but I never knew it was kind of like, it got coined from that, just as long as the line of an omnia apparatus, which is what you have tattooed on you.
Correct. Coined from Titanic.
Well, yes, it did. Yes, I know. But it became like a really big, like, Gilmore Girls was a big reference for it. Like that, like, without that line, she wouldn't have jumped. I don't think.
Right.
So, but yes, it got coined from Titanic, yes. But I don't think it would have got, like, she would have jumped. And that's where, I think in that moment is where the Rory-Logan relationship kind of just, like, it formed, like, strongly. So
I think it was them climbing the ladder. You really noticed that Logan's like, that's my girl. Like, we're doing this.
Yeah, whether you like it or not.
Right. we're going to the top.
Yeah.
And, the only way down is to jump.
Yeah.
But in omnia apparatus, why did you get that tattooed?
So I'd have to verify this story with Sydney. So Sydney, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But I think it was just, one, it is such an instrumental part of Gilmore Girls. And it does show such a strong friendship, not only between, Logan and Rory, but also like everyone, Finn and Colin, the Gorilla Girl. But I mean, it's just such a strong connection, such a strong bond between, a lot of people, but also a very select few people that I think it really showed Sydney and I's friendship. So mine is on my right foot and it's in her handwriting, and hers is on her left foot in my handwriting. So
very
just kind of a close connection there.
Very cute.
And for those who don't know what an omnia apparatus means, I am putting it in the banner. It's Latin for prepared in all things, or prepared for all things, which, I mean, is a very good thing. Like, because they say an omnia apparatus a lot. It is the Life and Death Brigade's motto. It's just the thing. But speaking of an omnia apparatus and you jump, I jump, Jack, they are memorable quotes. What are some of the most memorable quotes that stick out to you?
Boy with the poodles already.
Coffee.
Yeah, her calling the lipstick vicious trollop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
yes.
anytime I have a red, I'm like, it's vicious trollop.
My favorite, whenever Lorelai and Rory, Rory was doing her underwear, and she goes, "I think I just have more than you." That's not even possible. What do you have all over there? Not underwear.
Oh, so many.
We
There's just so many.
there's so many, and Sydney has "I Smell Snow," which was iconic, which is why the show opened with "I Smell Snow" today, because you can't really have Laura Gilmore without her always going "I smell snow," and then Luke going, "It's not supposed to snow." No, but I smell snow, and then it just starts coming down.
Yeah.
But speaking of memorable quotes, I was on TikTok today, or was it Twitter? I don't remember. Like you do, because when you're bored, you just get on Twitter. And I found this video, and it was all quotes, things that Lorelai Gilmore says, because Lorelai Gilmore has a majority of like the quickest the one-liners.
I am a young, desirable woman. Lorelai Gilmore, disappointing mother since 1968. Independence Inn, major disappointment speaking. Puppies! Stop drinking coffee. I've stopped doing the standing and the walking and the words putting into sentence doing. Who defines right? And if eating cake is wrong, I don't want to be right. Reality has absolutely no place in our world. Everything in my life has something to do with coffee. I believe in a former life I was coffee. Oh, Lou, we're just dying for some refreshments. Well, you know my babbling capabilities are infinite. I smell snow. I smell snow. I smell snow. So, God is a woman. Coffee, please, and a shot of cynicism. Does he have a motorcycle? Because if you're gonna throw your life away, he better have a motorcycle. I need coffee and an IV. You are full of hate and loathing, and I gotta tell you, I love it. Wow. Sleeping with you is getting me nothing. Who else here had 8 shots of tequila? Anybody? Hands? Boy, with the poodles already.
Okay, our house is burning down and you can save the cake or me. What do you choose?
Well, that's not fair. The cake doesn't have legs. And that sticks you with the mattress.
We've been here before.
I recognize that treat. I said, coffee, coffee, coffee. Actually, no, I don't like problems. I avoid them when I can, and I don't like people pointing them out to me. I can. As long as everything is exactly the way I want it, I'm totally flexible. Well, I'm attracted to pie. It doesn't mean I feel the need to date pie. Oh, I'm so hot. I may hit on myself tonight. $75,000. $75,000. Oh my God, that's like 150 pairs of Jimmy Choos.
Hot plates.
See, you call me hot plates. He so likes me. Not only did you go to a cop-rated party, but you started the raid. What's your point? Did you ever know that you're my hero?
Oh my God!
You're everything I would like to be. And I could fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my...
I thought that was just to tie up the most memorable quote section. You have to throw that, because she has some of those quick little one-liners, and you're like, "Whoa, what did she just say?"
Yes.
Like, but that ending where she goes, "Did you ever know that you're my hero?" I catch myself saying that at work to Sarah, and I always be like, "Did you ever know that you're my hero?" And then she'll like, she didn't even know where it was. Like, she didn't know that I was playing Gilmore Girls, and so she was like, she finished the song, and I was like, "Ah, cool, you know what it's from." And she goes, "No." And I go, oh, "Okay, never mind."
No,
Like,
don't watch it. I don't know why.
How are you her best friend?
That's what I don't understand.
Well, the rule is like the best friend has to know so many of the quotes.
Or else.
Right. Like I have to watch Harry Potter now. It's like
Right.
so this is a mission for Sarah
Just to watch it.
to watch. We did, yeah, she did watch Harry Potter.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, so we did memorable quotes, most memorable episodes or season. We can do a most memorable episode or season. We're not counting the year in the life.
Okay. You Jump, I Jump, Jack.
Mhm.
That was a huge one for me. The graduation one, cry every time.
Okay. I would say when Richard forcibly and secretively Rory to Yale to do an impromptu interview.
Yeah.
That is the most life-changing thing that happens in the show. I don't know if anyone ever thinks about that, because if not, then we get kind of a Yale situation. But also it's really when Lorelai kind of stands up to him for like the first time, is like, "Dad, no, like I'm mad."
And so did Rory. She was like, I would have done that. Why should have told me so I could have prepared?
Right. Well, also for the first time, you really see Emily, like, you know, she's always like, "Yes, Richard, yes, absolutely. You know, this is my husband. I'll stand by him." And she was like, "No, like you messed up." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
I I think mine, it's not just an episode, but mine is the season where Rory and Lorelai get into that huge fight, and she moves out. She moves into
For the whole season.
the whole season.
Yeah.
It's like it's because you're kind of
Yeah.
you're kind of wanting you kind of want the entire season. You want them to get back together, and then you see Lorelai in Rory's room and like just like reminiscing about the times they lived together, and it's just to me. I was like, because I had not seen that part, and I was like, oh my god, oh,
Okay, no.
he really wants into the conversation. But no, like it's just something that I think when you watch it, it makes you just think about your own relationship with your parents when you're watching it. So
Yeah.
what's your guys' favorite proposal? And there's been a lot of proposals. You've got to try to jump on this table.
I feel like only one of them was half-assed successful. It was the one Lorelai did.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's the only one that actually took.
I think the most memorable proposal was Logan to Rory at her graduation.
Yeah,
Man, he really wanted to seize the moment.
I know.
And
Even
he
Lorelai's
did.
like, no.
And everyone's
No,
like,
no.
So
Yeah.
Luke and Lorelai
Okay.
is one I have. Rory and all of her men. Jackson and Sookie. And then Michelle and his on-scene husband. Who do you guys think he is, and what does he look like? What do you guys think? Who do you guys think he is? Like, what do you guys think about that? Because it's finally the episode where we finally get to know that Michelle is out there. He's part of the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I picture like Neil Patrick Harris?
I was gonna say.
Why do I imagine him just being like, hey?
And they were trying to make a kid, right?
Right.
And then Paris also
Right.
slipped the name that Neil Patrick Harris was.
Hey, she's allergic to you.
Neil Patrick Harris is one of their clients.
Right.
So maybe.
So
That's a
I just
very,
have to look at us go.
I know. Problem
Detectives.
Yep.
so throughout its 7-year run, it hit on some very serious topics like teen pregnancy, class differences, and even death. With just some like Lorelai the Great. What would you say is an issue that they tackled that really stood out to you guys?
I think they really did it in A Year in the Life. So Lorelai pushes Emily so hard to go to counseling. She's like, you need to see someone. You need to see someone. And sometimes I think I don't know, like us as children, it's hard to tell our parents to do things, but Emily had Richard for so long, like that was her life, he completed her. And so she essentially not only lost a part of herself, but like half of her identity. And so like Lorelai was right in saying, Mom, like you have to go see someone because it's not only going to better you, but like all of us. And so it's kind of cool to see them really push mental health as far as they did.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool for me.
Mm.
You're like, where do I begin?
What issue or topic do you think they hit on that really stood out to you?
I would say that it always comes back to family. Like, with a good, happy, healthy, generally healthy family, then it's always someone you can come back to and be who you are, whether they like it or you like it. So
I thought, and mine kind of goes with that, it's no matter how rich you are, no matter how poor you are, if you break the law, you're going to pay the consequences. So when Logan and Rory stole the boat, she gets put in jail, and they have to, and then you have that entire thing where it literally is an entire episode dedicated to pretty much breaking the law, because she broke the law. She has to pay the punishment for it. So she has to go to those classes that I don't know. Doesn't she pick up trash?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Isn't it
she helps old people dance.
Yes,
all
she had to do a
things.
bunch of stuff, and I remember. And it just goes to show that no matter how on the spectrum you are, like if you're rich or you're poor, you kind of have to go through it. But it also shows the other end of the spectrum.
if you're rich, you kind of get away with it.
Right.
And if you're poor, you kind of get suffered because Logan had money, so he got bailed out of it. But Lori didn't have money, so she had to suffer through it. So
well, they tried to pay. They paid for the
that is
best
true.
lawyer.
They did
yeah,
pay for the best lawyer.
So,
But also,
That didn't go
Mama
so
didn't
well.
come to bail her out that night. You know?
Right.
That didn't go so well, though, that best lawyer.
that didn't.
Right.
No, that went
I'm
really
suing
bad.
you, Charlie Davenport.
I love the fact that Nova made an appearance and everybody has something to say about it.
Right. I'm like, okay, everyone.
Because Nova always makes an appearance in every episode
Oh.
because he gets tired.
She
of
knows
waiting.
her time.
It's a he, but thank you.
Well.
Way to go, Miss Gingery, my cat.
Well, did you ask him or her what he prefers?
Nova prefers they them pronouns.
Thank you.
So, well, we're talking about animals right now, so let's bring up some of the pop culture references, like Paul Anka, the dog, who is also the human, who has a dream. She has a dream about being on her lap, on Babette's lap, but it's really Paul Anka, the human, not the dog. Like, what are some pop culture references that stood out to you or didn't stand out to you that you had to look up?
Paul Anka.
Yeah.
Paul Anka.
I thought it was Polenka.
Paul Anka.
I thought it was like
Palenka.
a dance or something. Like polka dancing.
I love the scenes like when they do the they're way smarter than me and I never watched it, but I did see when they do those parties, like the theme parties. And like what was that one where Rory was like playing with Logan by going out with another guy?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that? The I can't think of what they're called.
Anyway, so they always like have the whole thing come to a scene that's basically a complete replica of one of those movies.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Like, and I just think it's so cool how they throw that in and just, it's just perfect. They're so good at what they do.
I think there's pop culture references in general, and I was reading an article that even the cast sometimes didn't know the pop culture reference, even if they were the ones saying it. Like Rory had a line, and Alexis Bledell's like, I don't know what that means. So like, Sydney Marsh says it was a costume party.
Yes. What was the movie or director they were doing?
Sydney?
Riddle me that.
Did anyone know what a Mayday pole was? Or was I just the only one that didn't
The one with
know?
the one with the twirl?
I've been to the
Yeah.
Renaissance Festival.
I've been to one.
I was like,
Renaissance
what is
Festival.
that?
Yeah.
Why didn't anyone inform me?
Yeah.
I could become a polar.
So I had some of these on here, some quirks of like, Kirk's odd jobs.
Oh,
Was
don't even bring
a-
him into this.
That's someone that kind of like makes you like a little on edge is Kirk because he always is there. He always has that relationship with Lorelai. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, she's not interested. Get the hint. But I had that and Babette's gnome craze.
Yeah.
Babette. Everyone loves
I think
Babette.
Kirk is so endearing.
Uh-huh.
I think that you are irritated by Kirk.
I am irritated by Kirk.
I think he's kind of like the little brother that,
Yeah.
Lorelai
You're my
needed.
Kirk. Don't hate Kirk. You're the Kirk. Like, but
now
I love
you
Kirk.
know. Now you
Pulp
know.
Fiction.
He's got a piggy.
Sydney said Pulp,
Pulp
Fiction.
Fiction. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Perfect.
Now only if Nova was a tiny pig.
Yes. Yes. And Kirk found love.
He did find love. That is true.
So.
Which means it's out there for everyone.
Yes.
Well, maybe not me.
What about so like we had that bet with her gnome craze. Miss Patty always yelling at those kids to do their dance
Oh my
routines.
goodness.
Yeah, and always just hoeing down. Like she'll just throw something in, you're like, yes.
And it's always the most attractive
Yeah.
men. Like, okay, ma'am.
Yeah, shoot your shot.
Do I need to become a dance teacher? Because, okay, think about this. Anybody else feel like Miss Patty gave off an Abby Lee vibe?
I don't know
Abby
who that
Lee
is.
from Dance Moms?
I didn't watch Dance Moms.
Oh, she gave me those vibes, and I'm just like, maybe I should become a dance teacher.
Yeah.
Sydney, this is what I'm drinking.
Yeah, I was drinking probiotic water.
And you ran out?
Coffee sounded better.
One that I was gonna mention and I just completely forgot what it was. One of the quirks is when they go to the town hall meetings and Lorelai is always eating some kind of food.
Always.
Even though Taylor doesn't like food being used at the town meeting, he's like, "Are those fries?" And she's like, "No, these aren't fries. These are something." And she's like, "Yeah," she's shoving them in her mouth.
Yeah.
But she
So-
can get away with whatever she wants.
That is
It's Lorelai
true.
Gilmore.
If you could date one of the boys from Gilmore Girls in real life, who would it be? Any of them?
Probably Luke.
Luke? I mean, you get free coffee.
That's very true.
Any of them?
Uh-huh.
Richard.
Hmm.
Okay. Roll it back before he married Emily. Okay.
Okay.
Date Richard. You're set for life.
Set for life.
Set for life.
Yeah.
And you get to be a Gilmore Girl. Thank
There you go. You are the Gilmore Girl.
Thank
If-
you.
You could have dinner with anyone from Gilmore Girls. Who would you choose?
In character or out of?
Both. Let's do both.
In character and out of character, probably Richard.
Okay.
In character, Michelle.
Okay.
Out of, Lauren.
In character, I want to say Emily.
Oh.
I want to say Emily because I want to learn more about her backstory.
You're going to learn more about yourself.
I will.
Right. You're going to be talking the whole time.
But out of character, Lauren Graham. Which Gilmore Girl are you most like? Out of the three.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Probably Lorelai.
Probably Lorelai.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
So here comes the
What about
age of-
you?
Oh, I said Lorelai.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I
Okay.
said
We're all Lorelai.
We all said Lorelai. I was like, yeah.
Lorelai's.
So here we go to the question that everybody wants to know. We're going to talk
Ooh.
about the teams.
Okay.
But the first one is going to be for Lorelai. Are you Team Luke, Team Chris, Team Digger, or Team Max?
You must have really had a thing for Digger.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, ain't nobody want Digger?
Yeah. Luke, Avi.
Yep. I was Luke from day one.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
Yeah,
came on the
Luke.
scene and I said, there he is.
Yep.
I even tried talking to a Luke as a Lorelai. See, I really tried to pull it full circle.
And so now the question that gets asked the most for any Gilmore Girl fan, are you Team Dean, Team Logan, or Team Jess?
Do we say it at the same time?
Sure.
All right, ready?
Logan.
Yeah, because that's basically dating Richard as a kid. You know what I
Right.
mean?
That is,
Right.
yeah.
That is Richard.
Yeah.
My name is Logan Gilmore.
The fact that we all said Logan, though,
Right.
like, we're all like, I was waiting for one of us to pop off and be like, Jess.
Yeah, no.
I love how we still did not
I know.
say Dean.
It's never Dean. It's never Dean.
No. Look at this.
What I think is kind of cool though is looking at these three men and seeing the shows that they went on to be,
Mm-hmm.
where they are like these central characters of
Yeah.
their own TV show. Because you have Dean, who is in Super. You have Jared Padalecki, who is in Supernatural. You have oh my God, why can't I think of his name?
Matt Zuckery.
Nat Zuckery. No, that's not who I was thinking of.
Oh.
But Nat Zuckery, who was in The Good Wife and The Resident. And then you have Milo. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Vintage Tedley Gallo.
Yeah,
Something
who
like
is
that.
in This Is Us. But every time I see them in those characters, I still see them as
Yeah.
these three.
Yeah.
I don't and can't watch The Resident just because I'm afraid it'll change him for me.
I can't watch This Is Us because all I can think about is how that is not Dean.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh.
That's not Dean. That you mean
Or Jess.
Jess.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
messed
I
up.
feel
messed
ya.
up.
So we say goodbye to the Gilmore Girls. We wait 9 years, and we are introduced to the one, the only. I'm saying this really slowly so I could bring it up on screen. Year in the life. 9 years in the. Oh, it's not on the screen yet. 9 years in the making. Gilmore Girls, a year in the life. Andrea, this question is for you. What was it like to come back to these characters that you grew up with and seeing them after 9 years? And at this point, having a kid of yourself.
I have a chronic non-finishing syndrome to where I won't watch the last episode or I won't read the last page or it just
Of anything?
not everything, but Twilight. That was one of my
Mm-hmm.
especially that one. But I struggled actually hitting play. Like, so excited, counted down the days, and then when I'm like, but once I watch it, it's over. And I was like, okay. But I actually think they did a really good job of modernizing it. I didn't really understand some of the things they avoided in the first season because they were just so, free spirited, like not letting anybody be gay, even though, Michelle is obviously, you know what I mean? Like, why did they avoid that? They even gave him girlfriends.
No.
So,
And probably Taylor. Like,
And-
if we're being honest,
Right.
probably Taylor.
and the mechanic girl, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
why
yeah.
did they avoid?
I love that the mechanic girl played a dual role. She was still a Rose or whatever her name was, and then she played the maid of Emily.
Gypsy.
She played Gypsy, and then she played the maid. of
Yes.
Emily, and I love how
I
they
was
gave her
like,
a dual
whoa.
role. That
Yeah.
was the best.
Yeah, I think they did a really great job bringing everything back up, still keeping, like, you never left. You know what I mean? Like, but you did leave, and that's noted. But man, they picked it right back up. Their faces seem to move less.
Mm-hmm.
Noticed that, but beautiful.
Richard on the wall though, whole wall.
Whole wall.
See, and that was something I wanted to know how they were going to do after, because I knew that
I know.
that Edward Herman had passed away, so I wanted to know how they were going to take upon that section and just like add about him again. And they made an entire season around him.
Mm-hmm.
Winter was just all about him, and I think that's what I liked, was that they gave him that episode, and you have like this conclusion for Richard, but it also starts the feud between Emily and Lorelai again because of what she said about her dad's wake. So it caused a feud that went the entire series run again. So
it almost felt like the final feud, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, this is it.
And it kind of was.
Yeah.
Like, there weren't any other big things, like, feud-wise.
Yeah, the way they did Emily, it could not have gone any better. Like, I think she finally became herself, found herself again, and it was, they just did so good with her.
I love how they started the whole show with Lorelai just sitting there drinking her coffee. Rory walked up, and then they just go a mile a minute in a dialogue, and then
I feel like it's been forever.
It feels like it's been forever, and then she goes, "I missed you, kid. How long has it been?" And she's like, "Forever." Oh, we haven't done that in a while, and I was like, "Perfect, love it, classic." You just made everyone smile. But we talked about these seasons. We have fall, winter, spring, and summer. Which one was your favorite?
Probably fall.
Mm-hmm.
I think I liked winter. But I really loved the last, was it end on summer?
It ended on fall.
I was like, it ends on
because it starts with
Okay.
winter, then it goes to spring, then it goes to summer, then it goes to fall.
because of the snow.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I loved how they did the Life and Death Brigade tribute.
Yes,
Like, that was
yes.
just so cool. Like, man, they did it. So I loved that scene, and I like that if they are the last 4 words. I loved that you finally got to figure out what those were.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about those.
Yeah,
those.
but I really
We can't ruin it for them like that.
Well, we are.
I assure
Okay.
you, anybody who's sitting here obviously is
besides Sarah,
right.
knows what the last 4 words are. So, Megan, you said yours is winter.
No, mine is fall.
Fall.
I like the final wrap up of kind of
Yours is
everything.
winter.
You get to kind of like, I don't know, I'm a closer. I like things to be done. So, if it is the end, then, I can be satisfied. Like,
Yeah.
I know, well, one, I got to watch it with my best friend, my bestie's mama, who's my mama, and then our other super great friend. So it was like kind of nice to like be all together and, cozy and get to see the end. So,
Yeah.
I have to say, I think they're all good and Lauren Graham made a very specific point when she was on Stephen Colbert, where she said they're all cinematic movies. Like, they're all they all stand their own test of time, and like, you really can't, like, it's hard to just pick a favorite because there's things for each one.
It's all the story.
But I think
fall to me would be the one that, because it just like you said, it closes everything. If it is to be the end. And at the end of fall, all the characters from the past have come back at least once or twice, and you get to see how they are now, where their lives are at. You get to see all three men. You get to see what they're doing. Lane, you get to finally meet Mr. Kim. Like, you get it's closure for every single character that you didn't get because Amy left at the end of season 7. So they just kind of were like, "This is it, we're done," and you're like, "Oh, that's how it ends." And I didn't get the privilege to watch it when it was live, but I would have been seriously let down with that ending.
Yeah.
In season 7, if that was the end for real.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I didn't hate it.
You didn't?
Yeah. I mean, I knew, even at the time, I knew it wasn't ended with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was able to kind of see it for the halfness that it was. Mm-hmm. But, everybody was there.
Yeah.
They gathered everybody, Richard and Emily and Lorelai. They told her how proud they were of her. That's all she ever wanted. Mm-hmm. I think it was good for what it was. But
we saw the return of so many important characters. Who was your guys' favorites that really returned to this?
Sookie.
That you were really glad when they came out.
I was so worried that she was not going to be there.
Yeah.
And I think as much as the Gilmore Girls need each other, I think that Sookie plays such a major role in Lorelai's life and who she is and who she has become outside of, the hoity-toityness that is, that, you can't have the rest of Gilmore Girls without her. Mm-hmm. And even, even Emily knows that, she does the whole wedding facade. So, even Emily knows that Sookie is important.
Yeah, I agree.
I think this will touch on 2 favorite moments, but I agreed earlier. I love the fact that they brought back the Life and Death Brigade. You finally get that reunion between Rory and those boys, mm-hmm. and to me, that's one of my favorite moments from Year in the Life.
I agree. I totally agree.
Just running through the street.
Just running through the street.
When they show up in the fog
thing.
With their masks mm-hmm. and their top hats, loved it.
What would your favorite moment be?
I think it's kind of a montage of moments where poor Rory just keeps forgetting about what's his name.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can see him.
God, Paul.
Is that his name?
Is it Paul?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know his name, but that poor man.
Well, he leaves her in the diner. She leaves him in the diner.
Yeah.
And
she went back. She went back for him
after she forgot.
But she went back.
Eventually, he broke up with her.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
No.
Or ever conflicting schedules.
Right.
But I love the fact that we talked about the return of the Life and Death Brigade.
She knows us, as if she has intimate knowledge of us.
How did your niece
Every single nurse was a man. When did that happen? So, let's have a look at you here. She seems pale.
I'm always pale.
She seems sadly dressed for the fields.
Or riding in boxcars.
Or perhaps she's passing herself off as a young boy. Like Yentl. Tell me, girl, are you Yentl?
Well, it is Friday, so...
Men, I believe we've arrived just in time.
Time for what?
Time for what, she asked.
The female sex, they do ask questions.
There was a meeting, my darling.
A meeting.
A convocation.
An assemblage.
A conclave. A parlay. A hen party. There was scotch.
And basically, after discussing the minutes from the last meeting, and the minutes that we took in this meeting discussing the minutes from the last meeting.
That was a lot of scotch.
We took a vote.
And we decided that we had to come and take you out.
I love the beard.
I think that is just like they did such a good job bringing them back, especially with the whole like pig running by with Kirk's pig, and then you go to the Gazette and you have the lady going, an omniapparatus. Is that right? Yep, that's it.
Yep,
that's how I said it. That's how I said it. All right, I'm done back. But no, then you finally get to see like just it's perfect.
Maybe you should have got it on our hand. Didn't we got to move our tattoo to our hand?
So to end the year in the life, the last 4 words. Spoiler, Mom, yeah, I'm pregnant. Were you expecting those to be the last 4 words?
No.
I wasn't expecting it, but I don't know what else it could have been.
Yeah.
I think that it was probably perfect.
Yeah, I don't know what else she would have said.
I know that would have.
But I'm like, no. You can't just leave me like
I was
this.
still shocked.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice.
Who do you guys think the father is?
Logan.
You think it's Logan?
Yeah.
I don't know. She did a
This-
lot of running.
That night
But
is
Logan.
the last hookup noted on screen.
It is. That is true.
So in this, if it's the beginning of fall, at the end of fall, that is approximately when you find out you're having a baby. So, fair.
See, there's all that speculation that it's the Wookiee that she had a one night
That
stand
wouldn't.
with.
That was back in like.
Summer, or spring.
Yeah, it wouldn't have the timeline. She'd be 6 months pregnant by now. Yeah, like
It's true. I mean, it's. I want it to be Logan's.
it's Jeff Logan.
I want it to be Logan's. And I'll be so mad if it's not.
I was
And what
hoping
if we
that.
never know?
So here's the thing. Master Zuckery knows who the dad is because Amy Palladino said, "This is the dad. You're free to tell anybody." And he goes, "No. That's your call. I'm not telling anybody who it is." And I think it's because that is either A, that's because it is Logan, or B, because Logan is the last person she hooks up with on screen. So Amy was like, "This is who it is, just so you know." Like,
Yeah,
let me tell
That's
you.
you're a dad
fair.
now.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah.
But and so I think the reason why I have a feeling, let me know if you guys agree, the reason why they left it open-ended like that, I feel like there's going to be a second one.
Well, right now all of their current projects kind of wrapped up.
That is true.
The one where they sing their thoughts or whatever.
Zoe's Extraordinary
Yeah,
Playlist.
that just got canceled. And
Right.
then this is the last season of Handmaid's Tale for Rory. So,
Yeah.
even like
Supernatural's over.
he tried to take on Texas Walker, but I
Yeah.
don't think that's gonna last.
Please no.
Yeah, and This Is Us doesn't have that much longer left. So
See, Lauren has a Gilmore Girls clause in all of her contracts. So whenever Gilmore Girls wants to happen again, she has the right to step back for a second and do
I
Gilmore
like that.
Girls.
Yeah.
So you guys, we're going to do a little bit of a fun little thing right here. Oh,
Okay.
before we finish this up, I forgot there's one little bullet point on the next page. The transition of Rory and Lorelai from episode 1, season 1, to fall. Do you think they transitioned well? Do you think they became a better person? What is your overall aspect of the transition?
I think they stayed true to who they were. They grew and matured, but they're the same at the core.
Mm-hmm.
Is it weird that I feel that Rory became Lorelai, but Lorelai did not become Emily? She's a weird in between of the both of them.
Yeah.
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 I see
I'm
that.
with it.
So we're gonna leave it on that note, but we're gonna go into some little fun facts real quick. So some of these fun facts were shared by you, were shared by people at home. So the first one, and we talked about this the other day, is that there were actually 1,000 yellow daisies during Max's proposal to Lorelai. They mentioned in the video that they're in the show that there's 1,000, but they actually confirmed that there were 1,000 actual daisies, and none of them were props.
I heard it was way more than 1,000 because they said when they put 1,000 together, it was like weak.
Really?
So I heard it was way more than 1,000.
Some other interesting facts here was that Drella the harpist in season 1 was originally supposed to play Suki, but she couldn't because of her commitment to Mad TV.
Mhm.
But her husband is the guy who played Jackson, or her then husband was the guy who played Jackson.
I love that.
Yeah.
And the lady who played Drella is Lois from Family Guy, if you didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Sean
Funny
Gunn, who played Kirk, was actually only contracted to 2 episodes.
He showed up for a few more. And
Yeah.
he said, "Hey."
He kirked it.
Right.
I'm just going to keep showing up.
That's an
The
adjective.
Yeah.
hold on, make sure this is not a question. And I'm not going to mention that because there's a question in here.
Mention it.
Lauren Graham and Scott Patterson actually quit smoking for their roles
Oh,
because of how fast the dialogue was. They didn't have time to smoke
wow.
because it would cause it would make them hard to breathe.
That makes sense.
Chilton student Brad Langford disappeared toward the end of season 2 and through much of season 3, but reappeared in season 4. His character explained his absence by saying that he had been starring in Into the Woods on Broadway. It turns out that actually wasn't a stretch because Adam Wiley, who had played Brad, had actually been starring in Into the Woods on Broadway at the time.
I love that.
Lauren Graham said that her favorite scene to shoot. What do you guys think her favorite scene to shoot was? Scenes to shoot.
The ones with Emily.
I would say the ones with Michelle.
So Lauren Graham said her favorite scenes to shoot were the Friday night dinners, especially when they involved Kelly Bishop, who played Emily, because it was her arguing with her. But the shoots were long, involving multiple camera angles, and she said that the food was always terrible.
Oh, that's so sad. It looks so good.
Yeah.
Except for that weird thing that the weird thing that Richard the slot. I was like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
this
still
one
don't
is,
know what turtleneck soup is though.
Yeah.
you mentioned this earlier with April coming onto the scene, and how it slowed down the process of Lori and Luke. Did you know that the reason why Jess appeared on the scene was to also slow down the relationship? Because Amy Sherman Palladino told Mental Floss that she looked for obstacles that were real to put in their way. One of which was apparently the storyline surrounding Luke's nephew Jess. That one actually made kind of sense.
It was a little too soon. That was only season 2.
That made sense to bring in a whole nother character. But that character also added the arc with Rory and Jess, so it kind of just flew. It worked together. So I'm turning my laptop like this because y'all say you guys are Gilmore Girls fans. Y'all say you guys are diehard. You watch it straight through. We are going to play a little bit of a game here.
Okay.
So I'm going to take away the full screen mode, and I am bringing up individual mode. Because here's how this is going to work. I have a total of 28 trivia questions. Are you ready?
No.
First one to raise their hand. I have no other way. I was going to get little props, but I didn't have props. Here you go.
Oh,
I get to be the Roku. Let me not accidentally turn things off.
Oh my God, please don't. The first person to raise the Roku remote, to raise the remote, it gets to answer. The one with the most amount of points at the very end wins this lovely crown that's been sitting people at home cannot see it. This lovely crown right here, who currently is held by Ian Dimley, will now go to either Andrea Sower or Megan Baker. What is the first line spoken in the show? Yes.
Coffee, coffee, coffee.
No. Yes.
Luke, please.
Yes. It's please, Luke, please, but I will give it to you. All right. Which journalist does Rory idolize? Yes.
Christiane Amanpour.
Correct.
You had
I'm
that
like the
question, so
lady-
you heard somebody else pronounce it, didn't you?
Huh?
I was like the lady that's in the lobby.
There you go.
She meets her in her pajamas.
Which major character was originally scripted as a woman? Yes.
Michelle.
No. Yes.
Luke.
Correct.
Oh, really?
I'm sick.
I didn't know that.
I'm sick about this.
I'm like, I didn't know that. So then wait, who would have been her love interest? Would she have been LGBT?
They changed it because they thought it was going to be too girl heavy. Yeah.
Which of the Gilmore Girls actresses hates coffee in real life? Yes.
Alexis Fidel.
Correct.
Fun fact.
What
She
is
drank
the-
Diet Coke, and they shook it up so it was flat.
What is the full name of the DAR? Yes.
Daughters of the American Revolutionary War.
Correct. What is the name of that's cat that dies in season 1? Yes.
Cinnamon.
Nice.
I always
What-
think it's pickles.
No.
Where was the phrase "Babette eats oatmeal" seen for the first time? Yes.
On a T-shirt made by Kirk.
Good job. Who is Richard engaged to before Emily? Oh, it's a tie. I really don't know who raised their vote first.
I think she did.
Okay,
Pinnell and Lot.
correct. Who has the last line in the series' original run? Yes.
Lorelai.
No.
Is it Richard?
No.
Oh, I don't know then.
Rory?
Yes, but it's going to be a draw.
I was like, I thought it was Richard.
What is Luke's dark day? Yes.
The day that his dad died.
What day is it?
November 9th.
No, but I will. Yes.
June 15th?
No, it's November 30th. And I'll give it to you, Megan, because you had the right.
Closest without
Yeah.
going over. Yeah.
Rory, okay, this is from Year in a Life. Rory has taken up a new practice to relax and relieve stress. What is it? Megan?
No, it was Andrea.
Okay,
Tap dancing.
good job.
I always thought that was funny because I had just learned about like calming tapping, like for meditation, and I was like, they're gonna do tapping on there.
When Lorelai and Rory go to Emily's house for dinner, they are startled to find a new piece of artwork. What is it? Yes.
A giant Richard.
Yes. During the series, we get a brief glimpse of a character who we've always assumed existed but never seen.
Oh.
Who is it? Yes, Megan?
Mr. Kim.
Good job. Who suggests that Rory write a book about her life with Lorelai? Yes.
Jess.
Correct. After selling her house in Hartford, where does Emily move? Yes.
Martha's Vineyard.
I don't know. if
Martha's
that's- I
Vineyard,
don't know
Cape
if that-
Cod.
No, it's not correct. It's not Cape Cod.
It's not.
It's the whale place.
Yeah.
It's Nantucket.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't
of
know that
those.
there was a
Yeah.
different place. That makes
What
sense.
group surprises Rory at the Stars Hollow Gazette? Yes,
The Life and Death Brigade.
correct. Who announces a surprise pregnancy at the end of the final episode?
Rory.
What is the name of Rory's book titled? What is it?
The Gilmore Girls.
Correct.
Yes.
That is correct.
Yes.
Because they make her take off.
That's-
Lorelai says.
Yeah.
That's also
Drop.
that is also why this episode is titled The Gilmore Girls.
Oh, cute.
So, okay, this is who said it.
Oh no.
There are 10, and none of them repeat.
Oh, I would hope not.
You jump, I jump, Jack. Yes,
That would be Rory.
correct. I want you to know that I'm in. I'm all in. Yes.
Logan.
No. Yes.
Lorelai.
No.
Luke.
It's Luke.
It's Luke.
Yes. Yes.
It's Luke. If eating cake is wrong, I don't want to be right. Yes.
Lorelai.
Correct. No men, just lots and lots of Chinese food. Yes.
Paris.
Correct.
Oh. Good work. I
Thanks.
was like, I have no idea.
Thanks.
This adult stuff is hard, isn't it? Yes.
Emily?
Lane.
Oh, okay. I forgot she was.
People are
Right.
particularly stupid today. Yes.
Michelle.
Correct.
That's him every day.
You were a good Kate, Clyde. We shouldn't have named you. Yes.
Sucky!
Correct. Let me be frivolous and shallow, will you please?
Emily.
Correct. You never really needed rescuing. You know that, right? Yes.
Richard.
No.
Oh.
Logan.
Correct. I left out the word ace because I knew that.
Oh, okay.
Really well. This last one. It takes a remarkable person to inspire all of this. Yes.
Richard.
Correct. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
It's about to be a draw.
6, 7, 8,
9, 10, 11 for Andrea. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Nice.
Megan,
You
you won
get the
by
crown
1.
You don't get to keep. It's okay, I'll share.
Here we go.
We can Regina George.
So
there we go.
the tiebreaker, had there been one, I'm going to see if you guys can answer this.
Okay.
Who said the opening line to the entire series?
Lorelai.
Correct.
What kind of
Because it was
tiebreaker with that? That'd have been a race to the finish. Well, I was like, well, if the very opening line was the coffee line, then I was like, wait a second. Is this a trick question?
Please.
No, it's not. I get to wear this.
Okay, yeah, you can wear it. You can wear it. Oh God,
Ooh.
that was good.
Your girl is not a queen. Lizzo.
So you know this. It's been really fun. But before we go there, I have to talk about this amazing book that I've been reading the last couple of days. It's from Lauren Graham. It's called From Gilmore Girls to Gilmore Girls and Everything in Between. Talking as fast as I can. She really goes into a lot of detail in this book about her time, both on Gilmore Girls the first time and Gilmore Girls the second time, and half of this book is actually her diary from her second time on Gilmore Girls. If you guys get an opportunity to read this, read it. It's really good. It's also really different to read because she has a lot of one-off thoughts in the middle of a sentence. She'll stop her sentence and be like, "Oh my goodness, I just remember when I was 12, I did this," and I'm like, "You're talking about you were 28. Well, okay."
Yeah.
But I wanted to read a little bit of a quote from her that I think will just fit good into everyone's lives, especially because you are set up in the show with like everybody knows everything about everybody in Gilmore Girls and Stars Hollow. Everyone knew everything mainly from Miss Patty. But it says, I never know because I haven't read a review of my life since that day when I was told I wish I would have died sooner. I've also never Googled myself. What good can come of it? I've learned over the years that when someone says something really nice about you, it has a way of reaching you. Friends can't wait to tell you when someone says something positive. And when things are not so nice about you, your friends get a shifty, faraway look or say nothing nice, and that tells you everything. Which I believe is so true, both in Stars Hollow and in our real world, because you are quick to know. You don't even have to, sometimes you don't even know about stuff before it's out there. And I thought that would just sum up everything about Stars Hollow and us, because everybody knew everything. You knew about Rory dating Logan before anybody knew about that, because Richard and Emily knew about it before she even started dating him.
Right.
So, but do you guys have any final thoughts, comments about this, or the run, or anything like that?
I think I just want to go home and fall asleep to it at this point. I'm like, anyone else going to go home and watch their favorite episode? Because I'm counting down the minutes.
So, Andrea, Megan, I want to thank you both so much for coming on here tonight and then, making history with this podcast by being a part of the first all-person show. So those 2 mugs that you guys are drinking out of, those are for you to take home.
Thanks.
As a
Cheers,
token
girl.
of my appreciation. And for those of you guys who watched and are still watching, thank you guys for joining along. It's been fun. It's been real. If you guys want to follow our podcast, Instagram, Facebook, CJ Unedited Podcast, or you guys can find us on Linktree. Next week, we do have crazy news reports, and Chrissy is going to be back with us, so it's going to be fun. Unfortunately, these 2 are not going to be here, so hopefully, maybe we can have you guys back along the line, somewhere down the line. But Andrea did get a really good point across. We are probably going to start a TikTok with little snippets of each episode, because that was a good idea. But thank you guys for watching. Join us again next Thursday at 7/6 Central for Chrissy's return, and August is Crazy News Reports. Until then, be safe, be happy, and remember to live your... I don't have it. Nope, I don't have it ready. Can't really do it without the ending. Oh. Okay, give me a second. This is why unedited.
It's your turn to wear the crown. Because you're also a queen, we have to share.
But until then, guys.
Honestly, it fits. Looks better on you.
Until then, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and remember to live your life 100% unedited. Good night.